A lot can happen in a short span in the NBA offseason. Maybe this summer hasn't been all that dramatic around the NBA, but some big news over the weekend. In a sign and trade, DeMar DeRozan is now a member of the Sacramento Kings. He was introduced inside the Golden One Center during the California Classic, some early NBA Summer League action, if you will, over the weekend. DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Damontas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender the last few years. The addition of DeMar DeRozan should only be a positive.
No, it is. And also, all you're looking for is, if you have as an organization, right, your only goal is to what, Ben? Give your fan base something to believe in for the next season. Did you get better over this offseason? And it doesn't always have to equate to, well, we didn't do enough to win a championship. Why should we even fight at this point? I like this move for DeMar DeRozan, and you didn't get him at one of those max deals like, hey, man, 4 years, $200 million. You got him relatively cheap. And also, when you take a look at that team, he's not coming there to play defense. He's coming there for that mid-range game. You got three-point shooters. You got guys that can get up and down the court. It's a nice fit into that starting lineup that gives you a formidable starting five. So as a Kings fan, you should love this move. Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not, but that's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
Yeah, they absolutely did. The odds reflected 25-1 for the three-time All-NBA performer that is DeMar DeRozan. Still long odds, relatively, in the Western Conference, but a shorter price now. And DeMar DeRozan is a benefit. A veteran who spent the last few years, of course, in Chicago, the last three prior to that in San Antonio, and a long career with the Toronto Raptors in the meantime. But still last year, even at the age of 34, in his 15th NBA campaign, he averaged nearly 38 minutes per game. That was the most in all of the association a season ago. So a veteran, 34 years old, but will make an impact for Sacramento. In the sign and trade, I believe Harrison Barnes makes his way to San Antonio. Our producer, Joe Frizo, can correct me if my knowledge was off there. The Orlando Magic extend Franz Wagner. He remains in Orlando. Not sure why Miles Bridges keeps getting deals, but the Hornets do re-sign him. The 76ers signed Caleb Martin, DRS. They're adding some pieces as well. Of course, Caleb Martin, an all-time playoff performer 2 postseasons ago for the Miami Heat. And on his podcast, Philly P, Paul George debuting the number 8 Philadelphia jersey for the first time.
Yeah, how about that, too? Like, Caleb Martin comes over, and usually it's like, hey, go to the highest bidder here. But that wasn't the case. I believe like $50 to $60 million on the table for the Heat. Much, much less from the Sixers, but maybe just felt it was a better fit here. And one less year, he can hit free agency still and maybe grab that final last contract for him. But that was a great move for the Sixers. But you take a look there at that Harrison Barnes move. You can't ever have enough shooting here. And if you take a look at the young Spurs team, you get a guy that's filled it up with about 38% from three-point range from his career. Just the past 4 years, 39%, 39%, 37%, 39%. So you know what you're getting here out of Harrison Barnes. But you're right about Miles Bridges. It was almost like he gets in trouble. They're like, boy, he's really talented. Let's slide him in with one of those qualifying offers. And then maybe when that news cycle hits and it's a year or two later, let's give him that big deal back. So the NBA is, and I can't just say it's the NBA. If you're in sports and you are ultra talented, you will get way more chances than just the average Joe in whatever job that you do out here. It's just the way of life in the NBA and certainly throughout professional sports.
It is the sad reality. What happens outside of the playing surface always matters more or does not matter as much in professional sports. It sucks, and it's almost enabling. I wish it would change. The Charlotte Hornets decided it was not worth changing in this moment. Donnie, as we look around the NBA at this time, the Celtics still remain a very short favorite to go back-to-back, maybe hang championship banner 19 after number 18 this past year. Again, Boston is in front, and rightfully so in our estimation. Everybody in the Eastern Conference and the entirety of the association. But now that the big moves in this free agent summer have really kind of come to a halt. The reshuffling of the odds has stalled. The Thunder plus 750. The Nuggets plus 850 alongside the Sixers, tied for the third best price. Philly vaulted in front of New York after the acquisition of Paul George last week, last Sunday evening. Anything stand out into where the market has settled now as you look at the odds around the NBA?
As we take a look at Major League Baseball, and we just reviewed their odds to win the World Series, and quite frankly, it's been the same way the entire year, Ben. We're looking at like that top four. Any one of those four teams can probably win it. But in the NBA, I understand we're still not all the way through free agency. Trades will happen. Teams will assemble a little bit differently than they appear right now by the time we start the season. But legitimately for me, there are 8 teams that can win an NBA championship, and that goes from plus 300 as a price to the Celtics to plus 1,500 to the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think the Lakers are 35-1. You see that shelf of a big difference between the Bucks and the Lakers. But if you tell me right now, Bucks, Timberwolves, Mavericks, Knicks, Sixers, Nuggets, Thunder, and Celtics, they're all legitimate teams. Now, granted, the Celtics, yes, of course, should be a 3-1 price at the top of the heap. They are the best team and returning champions. But I think we're having unbelievably fun Eastern and Western Conference all the way through next season. So just to start it out, I love what I see with 8 legitimate teams to win an NBA championship next year. I like that.
In my mind, the odds storyline for most of this NBA season was the Big Four, the co-favorites out east, Boston, Milwaukee. Of course, the Celtics separated themselves from everybody else in a banged-up Eastern Conference throughout the postseason, including Giannis and the Bucks. And it was the co-favorites out west, the Nuggets, the reigning champs at that time, and the Phoenix Suns. The Suns never living up to expectation. But as we got closer to the playoffs, the questions was who would be those newcomers? The Oklahoma City Thunder, the top seed. The Timberwolves, the 3 seed. When would the odds start to reflect the playoff positioning? They did deeper into the postseason, and of course the Mavericks, the 5 seed in the Western Conference, making it all the way to the NBA Finals. The odds perspective for me, the storylines, everybody out east, the Sixers, the Knicks, the Bucks, so on and so forth, playing for that second spot behind Boston, and it is a new era in the Western Conference. Some new teams out front with the Thunder, Nuggets, T-Wolves, and Mavs pretty tightly compact at the top of the odds list. Summer League action, Bronny James talk next. The debut for Bronny James in a Lakers uniform, albeit a Summer League jersey, over the weekend. The California Classic got underway this weekend. Some Summer League rosters already underway. The official Summer League does start later this week. But Bronny James in his debut, 22 minutes, 2 of 9 from the field, 4 points. However, if you look at some other media networks, maybe not here on the SportsGrid, but some other media networks, you would have thought he went off for 44 points in only 12 minutes, the way that it was covered. There is going to be a lot of eyeballs and notoriety, all the attention paid to Bronny James. He's understanding of that. The Lakers are understanding of that. Heck, LeBron James understands that as well. So always take everything with a grain of salt for a rookie just trying to learn the next level. But, Donnie, what did you make of the first game of Bronny James's NBA career, albeit in Summer League?
Exactly what I made out of his USC career. This is what he is. He's just an average basketball player out there trying to get some hoop in. He ends up scoring 4 points, not all that efficient. It wasn't a true NBA game where you're going against NBA talent that's going to be on a lot of rosters next year. But there is sort of nerves, and you want to find your way. I understand that. But you know what else I took away from this? I don't know if this was a live interview or a taped interview, but I saw LeBron James going like, yeah, Bronny just doesn't care. Like, he goes to the gym and he goes home and play video games. That means to say, I got to get out in front of this and tell everybody just to leave my son alone because he doesn't listen to it. Meanwhile, he does listen to it because everybody listened to it. His dad listened to it, and he says it his entire career. Just let the kid settle into his role, which is going to be playing 25 seconds at the end of every NBA basketball team like a college kid whose father is the coach of a college team, where you get some run at the end of the game and the crowd stands up, shoot, in a 40-point game. And when he makes it, the crowd goes nuts and they go home, and away you go at this point. Let's just let him settle into that type of NBA career.
Hey, Andrew Hurley is a two-time national champion at Connecticut. Worse things have happened. But you are correct in terms of the interview that LeBron James did with ESPN's Dave McMenamin over the weekend, a long sit-down conversation where he was asked about a variety of things in Las Vegas at Team USA Olympic training camp. He was asked about J.J. Redick, his own playing career at the age of 40, and, of course, his son, Bronny James, saying he does not listen to any of the noise. He doesn't really care. He understands all of the attention that is already paid to him and just blocks it out. I did think LeBron had a very noteworthy quote about Bronny James still having the hunger to live up to the name. That with everything given to him, especially with all the attention that would come to pursuing a professional basketball career, Bronny James is still very invested in being the best basketball player he can be. That's cool. I root for the kid. I hope he does well. Is he of the caliber of an NBA player? That remains to be seen. He will get his chances. He's on a guaranteed 4-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, a guaranteed 4-year deal, not a two-way deal for pick number 55, but for Bronny James to be a factor of this Lakers organization. And that is, frankly, how he should be judged and evaluated. He is a member of the Lakers NBA roster. Is he contributing at that clip? That remains to be seen. His fellow Laker rookie, Dalton Knecht, who was drafted 17th overall, a pretty strong start this weekend. By the way, Bronny James did not play yesterday on Sunday due to some swelling in his knee. Dalton Knecht, fourth best price for Knecht 4, now officially at plus 850 to win the NBA Rookie of the Year award. Crazy movement in this market. For what apparent reason, I'm not sure, outside of bets. Alex Sarr was the favorite, still is the favorite, although the number is longer at 6-1. Zachary Rizache, the number 1 overall pick for Atlanta. Now, the third best price, Zach Edey, storming up the board. Plus 950 on draft night, now plus 650. Edey, second best number to win the Rookie of the Year award in the association.
We're going to get a lot of movement here in the summer leagues. This is going to get, this guy can play, can't play. If you remember last year when the summer league started, man, Wembanyama, that guy's the worst player I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe he went number 1. That's the last time we're ever going to pick a kid. I mean, come on, settle down. These guys get, and you have to understand there are nerves as well. And just getting back to Bronny as well. Why isn't Bronny in that MVP race or Rookie of the Year race at this point? I mean, he's not going to play all that many minutes. But you made a good point here. He does seem like a very good kid. And if there's one teacher that you want on your side, it's your father being LeBron James. He's going to be schooled the correct way to play in team basketball, but it all begs the difference. The NBA is not so much sometimes about team basketball. It's what you can do individually for said team, and we'll find out sooner than later.
Bronny James has the longest available price listed for the NBA Rookie of the Year award at 300-1. But 300-1. Right. But is there value if he's already on the roster?
It, Kevin.
Maybe.
Take it, Kevin.
Hour 2 next. A lot of basketball talk coming your way here in our second hour live on this Monday morning on the early line on SportsGrid. I'm Ben Dunn. He's on the right side, and the man in the middle is James Young. Our coach JY to look at what happened this weekend in the NBA offseason and the summer. The debut of Bronny James, and not all that far away, just about 3 weeks until we get to Olympic basketball in Paris. Team USA at training camp this weekend in Las Vegas. It looks like an absolute dream team. Who would JY start, and what is the prospect over in Paris later on with our coach? JY, hope the long holiday weekend was great. Glad to have you here on this Monday morning.
Isn't it amazing? It's like the first week of July, and there's still so much hoops to talk about, especially LeBron James Jr. or Bronny. Oh, that jump shot needs a little bit of work.
One of these days we'll get to football, but for now it's still basketball here with our coach, James Young. So, JY, as we look at the weekend that was, since we've all been here live on the early line on the SportsGrid network, not many moves in the NBA, but the most notable in a sign-in-trade to Sacramento, DeMar DeRozan, now a member of the Kings, has been in the NBA for a decade and a half. 34 years old for the first time in California's capital. What does DeMar DeRozan add to this Kings roster?
another proven scorer, a guy that can put the ball in the basket, scoring 24 points per game, a guy that can create his own shot. If you kind of look at, DeMar DeRozan and how he scores really well as a pick and roll ball handler. In Chicago, 37% of the time, Ben, he was in a pick and roll, which means he can kind of create his own shot. He also, about 20% of the time, he's going to be a spot-up shooter. So that means he could play alongside of De'Aaron Fox, where De'Aaron Fox can come off the pick and roll. You could put him and set him up for him to shoot. Also, good isolation scorer, 86th percentile as an ISO bucket guy. So this is a guy that can create on the pick and roll, that can knock down shots, and can play isolation game, which means, Ben, late clock, he can help him. What the concern, I'm going to be very honest with you, is he could score. The problem is that he doesn't shoot the ball really well from three. Like, if you look at it, he's only in a 45th percentile in three-point shots and points per possession, and his jump shots are only at 34% rate. So while he does play really well and score, I'm going to worry a little bit about the fit completely unless he's going to do a bulk of his scoring, Ben, when Fox is off the floor and he can create himself.
A lot of moving parts here, Coach, in the NBA throughout, and we're still going to see a lot of these moves being made in free agency. But let's take a look at Caleb Martin. The interesting part about this, he comes over to the Philadelphia 76ers and fills a need right away. But that's not really what I want to talk about with you. He turns down a 5-year, $65 million offer from the Heat to accept a Sixers offer at 4 years and $32 million. Why didn't he sign with the Heat? And then also, what does he do for the Philadelphia 76ers?
Here's the crazy thing, okay? And forget just the numbers of the contract. Here's the thing I don't understand. Ready? Florida, just like Texas, you guys know, no state income tax. So it's even more money if you think about it, right, Donnie, with the fact that he doesn't have to pay state income tax in Florida that he has to play in Miami. Now, listen, it could be about playing time. It could be about fit. It certainly isn't about money because the money doesn't add up. To me, listen, Caleb Martin's going to help Philadelphia, and if they stay healthy, right, and if they could rebound, they are so dynamic offensively. My problem with them is defensively as a team, and now can Caleb Martin in long stretches guard fours? Can he guard Giannis? Can he guard Julius Randle? Can he guard Pascal Siakam? Like, can he guard these taller, bruising, not so much Siakam, but bruising bigs that can really just go over top of them? He can help them a lot. I'm worried about the defensive side and the rebounding. That's going to leave a lot of it on Embiid and Andre Drummond to take care of for Philadelphia.
JY, as Donnie just alluded to, there will be more transactions, there will be more acquisitions, and it sounds crazy that only a week-old NBA free agency has really dried up with those notable players that will move markets. But just because there's not many robust free agents still available on the market does not mean we are not going to see some trades or some blockbuster deals at certain points in this offseason or over these summer months. Who is on your radar for some potential trades that could shake up the NBA entering next season?
Well, in regards to really quick free agencies, there are a couple. Paul Reed, backup big. Can he go somewhere and help a team out? Kyle Lowry, experienced point guard, vet minimum. Gary Trent Jr. can score, right? So when you look at, necessarily trades, I'm going to focus more on teams. Milwaukee, what are we doing here with Milwaukee, right? There's talk that Brook Lopez is available. Can Brook Lopez help another team, Ben, as a stretch five? Absolutely. Rim protector. So you look at someone like him. You got to go to Chicago. When you look at now that DeRozan has left, is the full rebuild on? They're trying to give away Zach LaVine. Like, think about this. They're attaching a first-round pick, Ben, and they still can't get rid of the guy. At some point, does some team look at him and say, maybe the Lakers saying, we can't go get anybody else. Let's go and maybe see if we get a fit like that. So you have to look at those guys with the big contracts and see if there's attachment to them. But to me, like, the Paul Reeds, the Lowrys, the Gary Trent Jr.'s, Tyus Jones, that's a really good guard that started in Washington. He was the premier backup guard in my position, thoughts when he was with Memphis. Where does he end up? So to me, there's still some free agent movement that has to happen. But some of those names like Lopez, Levine would be the guys that would look at them maybe being moved if teams can't fill out their roster through via free agency.
Coach, we're taking a look here with the NBA. Maybe that, free agent frenzy is starting to die down, which means the summer leagues are starting to heat up. All eyes on the prize with the Lakers and Bronny James. What did we get out of his first career NBA quote-unquote start in summer league here?
Brother got to hit some shots. I mean, let's call it like it is. The kid can defend. We've talked about it. And we talked about it, before the draft, even during our draft show, even afterwards. Bronny James can defend at an NBA level. There's no questions about it, Donnie. Can he make shots? So this is a guy that if you just pull up his box score, 2 of 9, right? Missed all of his both free throws, all 3 of his 3-pointers, went 1 of 3 inside the lane, so he couldn't even finish around the basket. But then you start peeling back, right? You start looking at Bronny James last year at USC, right? Jump shot, 27th percentile. Catch and shoot, guarded, 7th percentile, right? 3-pointers, 21st percentile. Simply put, Bronny James, if he's going to be a player in this league, forget a player, a contributing member of an NBA team, he's got to hit perimeter shots. The defense is not going to carry him. And if you're going to hang on his defense, and that's it, call him Frank Ntilikina. Oh, wait, he's not in the league. Call him Davion Mitchell. He just got traded. He's got to knock down shots because one-trick ponies don't work in the NBA.
And Bronny James is going to be in the league late last week, signing a multi-year, 4-year, fully guaranteed deal that will start his NBA career as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, not just their summer league team or transition two-way between the G League affiliate in the South Bay and Los Angeles. He is a member of this Lakers organization from the very jump. JY, give me another name that we should be paying attention to throughout summer league here to start.
Oh, Khalil Ware. You see what that brother did last night? I mean, everything, it makes me sick as a Knicks fan. You know why? Everything Pat Riley does in a draft works out. Jaime Jaquez, work out. Khalil Ware, work out. Here comes Pell Larson. He's going to work out. I'm sick to my stomach over these darn Miami Heat.
Khalil Ware in the California Classic yesterday, 26 points, 11 boards. Now we go Team USA up next. Training camp for the guys this weekend in Las Vegas. The Team USA Olympic men's basketball roster. And boy, it looks good. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, everybody walking through the halls in Las Vegas to get reacquainted and get ready for Paris and the Olympics, starting in just a few weeks. JY, let's look at the odds, and it should be no surprise with the roster of the names that I just listed, and it continues to go from there. Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard, the list goes on and on, that the Americans are nearly a minus 400, a $4 odds-on favorite at minus 390. Is the price fair? Should Team USA run away to an Olympic gold medal?
Ben, yes, they should, but here's the caveat that people need to understand more than anything. Once you get to the medal round, all it takes is 48 or 40 bad minutes of basketball, and you go home. As well, they are an overwhelming favorite, and I got to be honest with you. I still have 2 concerns with this team. 3 concerns. One, they're a little bit older. If a team wants to get up and down with them, let's say Canada, can they keep pace with a team that could be younger and more athletic? 2, rebounding. We're going to talk about eventually if they play France. I mean, I watched over the weekend. What Wemby's doing is it's extremely scary to watch as an American because he could carry the team to the gold medal, but you're going 7-4, 7-1, high-low? How do you defend that? That's not even possible. So there's that, and then there's perimeter shooting. You've lined up. Yes, we have one of the greatest shooters of all time in Steph Curry. Where are the other guys that are marksmen? Knock down 3-point shooters. Devin Booker, pull-up guy. Durant, pull-up guy. Ant, pull-up guy, right? LeBron, not really. Kawhi, pull-up guy. They could shoot it, but that's not what they're known for. If they struggle from 3 and the team gets hot, then they can get picked off. Should they win it? Yes. Should they be the favorite? Yes. Can they get picked off? Still, absolutely.
Team USA right now assembling in Las Vegas. Why? Because they probably wouldn't go to Omaha and have a training camp. They probably wouldn't go to Indianapolis. They wouldn't show up. So smart move by Team USA in Las Vegas, where the players want to be and are training strong. Yeah. Now, let's forget about that point for a second and let's get to Team Canada here. 10-1 price here, Coach. Why are we taking a look at Canada in that second pole position right now at the FanDuel Sportsbook? What does Canada bring to the table with their team?
Well, they bring height. As far as I know, my man Big Zach Edey's going to be in the present. So let's see Big Zach right off the bat at 7'4". Let's see who can go ahead and stop him. But when you look at a team like Canada, they do have some guys that can create off the bounce. And it's a star-studded team. You can just look at SGA and what he could bring and how much he could score. Dylan Brooks, someone that's tough defensively, but could do some other things off the bounce. RJ Barrett. They got a guy like Lou Dort, who's one of the best defenders in the world. Oh, by the way, forgot about Andrew Nemhard, what he did in the playoffs. Jamal Murray, what does he do in big spots? Kelly Olynyk, season pro. Dwight Powell, okay, maybe. But they got guys there on this team that could make a run. So to me, now it's interesting what happened with I'm still missing Andrew Wiggins, so I guess the Warriors won the battle of him not playing. But still, Canada, solid second team along with France in this pool for the Olympics.
The Americans nearly a $4 odds-on favorite, and then everybody else a 4-digit price. Canada 10-1, France and Serbia at 14-1. What Victor Wembanyama did in Olympic qualifying for the French, oh boy. And of course, the Serbians have the best basketball player on planet Earth, in my estimation. That would be Nikola Jokic. JY, let's look at the roster now for Team USA. You mentioned some of the weaknesses. Here's a projected depth chart of sorts. Steph Curry would be the starter at the point guard spot. Anthony Edwards told everybody in Las Vegas this weekend, I'm still option number one. They got to fit in around me. You can't knock the confidence of that young man, the Ant-Man. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and then Joel Embiid at the center spot. When you look at the roster in the 12 guys that will make up the Dream Team in 2024, who would you start at each spot, 1 through 5?
Well, I would go with Steph at the point. Obviously, 2, that's one of the big toss-ups. Is it Booker or Ant-Man? I kind of like Ant-Man's confidence, to be honest with you, so I probably would go with Ant. Small forward, we would go with LeBron. Power forward, another tough one. Do you go with, I think they're going to do the loyalty factor at first, and that would be Durant. Now, the center position is where it gets interesting to me, because it's almost like 3 different kind of guys, right? Like low post threat, Embiid. A guy that is freakishly athletic, Anthony Davis, who is probably the best defender, Bam Adebayo. I think the center position and even the whole combination, Ben, can be predicated on who we play. If we play a team, like France, there's no way you can't go with 2 bigs off the jump. So that could probably be, to me, probably Bam or AD along with Joel at center. Then you move LeBron to the small forward position, and then you play from there. So to me, while you have a set starting lineup, I do think if you're Steve Kerr, you have to look at matchups, look at what other teams do well, and counteract that, because that is the key also, getting off to good starts. Because when you're an American team, you want to punish teams early. You don't want to give teams hope that they can hang around. So you got to be flexible in your starting lineup, Ben, and who you put out there based off who you play to give yourself the best start and also the best chance to win.
I'll take it from here as we approach that 1-minute mark. JY, any of those long shots around the Olympic odds outside of Team USA? You mentioned who might be able to pick them off on a good day. How about Team Japan? Keisei Tominaga makes the Japanese Olympic team. The Puerto Ricans into the Olympic field, that 12-team field set this week. Jose Alvarado, Carlos Arroyo, the skipper for the Puerto Ricans. Any long shots that might make some upsets happen in Paris?
Australia seems to always play pretty well, so they're intriguing. But all I got to know is this. If we see Carlos Arroyo show up with Puerto Rico, folks, duck. Just look back to 2004, what happened when that guy ran circles around Marbury and a bunch of guys, and they beat us. If he shows up and plays, maybe a little bit of a trouble.
But that led to the redeemed team. So all good things stem from Carlos Arroyo.